Hello everyone, welcome back to this session of English. In this session of English grammar, we are going to discuss some questions. So these questions are based on chapter of articles. So in this session, we are going to discuss some practice questions based on the chapter of articles. So these questions are basically previous year questions of SSC MTS. So in this session, we will learn 25 practice questions based on the chapter of articles, and also we'll see the detailed analysis of the solutions. Okay, so first of all, let us discuss the directions which are given to solve these questions. Now, what are the directions for the questions? First of all, what we need to do, we need to read the sentence to find out whether there is an error in it. It means these are spotting errors. Okay, so these are spotting errors based on the chapter of articles. The error, if any, will be in one part of the sentence. It means the sentence will be divided into some parts and only one part will contain the error. The number corresponding to that part will be your answer. Okay, it means the number which is given in that part will be our answer. If the sentence given is correct as it is, it means if the entire sentence is correct, it is flawless, it means there is no error in the sentence. Mark the answer as no error. So our answer will be no error. Okay, that will be the fourth part, that is no error. It means the sentence contains no error. Ignore the errors of punctuation, if any. It means we should ignore the errors of punctuation. We need not see the punctuation marks. We need to check only the errors which are based on grammar, that is articles. Okay. Now let us start the questions. So this is question number 1, as you can see over here. And the question is, tea which I am drinking is hot. Now here we are talking about tea. Okay, but this tea is not normal tea. Now, whenever we talk about the name of any meal or any food item, we do not use article before it. But if we make this meal or the name of the food item particular, or we relate it to someone, we need to put a definite article. And which is the definite article? That is the. Okay, we always put definite article before the name of the meal or the name of the food item which we make particular. Otherwise, we need not make any article, we need not use any article before the name of any food item or the name of the meal. But if we make it particular, we need to use the, that is the definite article. Okay, the is the definite article. Okay, so here we need to put the. Okay, but if I say I like tea, okay, so this is I'm talking about tea. This is a normal word. But if I say I liked that tea which you made yesterday, it means I'm talking about that particular tea which you made for me. Okay, so that I have made particular by relating it to someone else. Okay, so whenever we make any name of the meal or any name of the food item, if we make it particular, we need to put an article before it. Otherwise, we need not put in any article before the name of any food item or the meal. Now here I'm relating this tea to a person, that is I. The tea which I am drinking, it means I'm talking about only that particular tea which I was drinking or I'm drinking. Okay, so this tea, before this tea I need to put the. Okay, so here the error is in part 1. So here the tea should be used as it is followed by a relative pronoun which makes it definite. Okay, because this which is relating it with I. Okay, so here before this tea I should write the. So the correct answer will be the tea. The correct sentence will be, in fact, the tea which I am drinking is hot. Okay, so this will be the correct answer. Now let us move to the next question. Next question is, I know a doctor you are referring to. Now here if we see a person, that is doctor. Okay, so I'm talking about a particular doctor. I'm talking about that doctor which you were referring. Okay, or which you are referring. Okay, it means which you are suggesting. For example, if I say he's a doctor, suppose I say Raman is a doctor, it means I'm talking in general. Okay, that he's a doctor, that is a profession. But if I make someone particular, or if I relate that particular profession to someone, I'm talking about a particular doctor. I'm talking about only that doctor which you were referring to, or which you are referring to. Okay, so which you are referring to, it means this is a particular doctor whom we are talking about. That is why before this doctor we need to put the definite article. Whenever we make any noun, whether it is countable, uncountable, if we make it particular, or if we make it a specific, if we relate it to someone else, we need to put article before it. Here we are not talking about only doctor. Here we are not talking about any doctor. In fact, here we are talking about that doctor which you are referring to. So this doctor is a special. Why so? Because this has been referred by you. So this is a suggestion by someone. So before this doctor we need to put article the, because here this doctor is particular. Okay, so the error will be in part 2. The definite article the should be used before the word doctor, as he is already known, because he is particular and he is already known. Okay, so when we relate a person to someone else, when he is known to someone, when we make it particular or specific, we always use the before it. Okay, so here this should be replaced with the. So the correct sentence will be, I know the doctor you are referring to. Okay, so this will be the correct answer. Now let us move to the third question. Third question is, an experimental vaccine has brought glimmer of hope for malarial researcher. Now glimmer of hope is just like you can say that it gave us the part of hope, or it gave us some hope. Okay, it gave us hope. So glimmer of hope is actually the part of it. It is like an idiom and phrase. Glimmer of hope means some hope. Okay, so as you can see, the glimpse of hope. Okay, so before glimmer we need to put a. Okay, a glimmer of hope. So a glimmer is actually the part or the amount of hope. So we need to write a glimmer. Okay, it means a little hope. So here the correct answer is third. This third part contains the error. Why so? Here it is an article related error. Hence, a glimmer of hope for malaria researchers should be used. Okay, because here we are talking about a little hope that has been arisen, and that has been risen, and this is a glimmer of hope. This will be the correct phrase to be used over here. So the correct sentence will be, an experimental vaccine has brought a glimmer of hope for malarial researcher. It means there is some hope for malarial researcher. Okay, so there is some hope for them. So a glimmer of hope will be the correct phrase. Okay, now let us move to the next one. Now, as I told you that whichever the part that contains error and the number which is corresponding to it will be the correct answer. So in this sentence, the third is the correct answer. Why so? Third is the correct answer. Why so? Because it is actually the part which contains error. Now let us move to the next question. Supposing that information proves to be totally reliable, should we still have to recast the plans? Now, supposing that information proves, now which information we are talking about? We are talking about obviously about some particular information. Supposing that information proves to be totally reliable, it means that information that has been fetched by you. So should we still have to recast the plans? It means we are talking about some particular information that we have received. Therefore, this information is particular. Now, whenever we have any uncountable noun and we are talking about in a particular sense, it means if we make it particular or we relate it to something. So before this uncountable noun, we need to put a definite article, that is the. Okay, so here we are talking about some particular information, obviously. Therefore, here we need to write supposing that the information proves, or we can also write if the information proves to be totally reliable, because supposing that is actually when you are connecting it, that if it happens. So here supposing that should be replaced with if, and if the information should be the correct replacement of this phrase. So the correct answer is 1. Of course, the first part contains the error. Which part? Supposing that information will be replaced by if the information proves to be totally reliable. So they are just asking the question that if the information proves to be totally reliable, it means you can totally rely it, totally trustable, should we still have to recast the plans? Okay, so this will be the correct answer. So the correct sentence will be, if that information or if the information proves to be totally reliable, should we still have to recast the plans? So this will be the correct sentence. So here the error will be in part 1. Okay, now let us move to the next question. Now this is question number 5. A milk can provide protein for nutritionally balanced diet. Now if I talk about the word milk or water, milk is uncountable noun. Okay, this is uncountable noun. Uncountable noun means which cannot be counted, which can be measured but which cannot be counted. Whereas if we talk about countable nouns, we can count them. Okay, now whenever we use a or n, they are only used before singular nouns. Okay, because these nouns can be counted and a and n means one. Okay, so it can be used only before singular noun. For example, if I have a pen, that is I have one pen, so one pen means a pen. Okay, this is equal to a pen. So I can say I have a pen, I have an umbrella. Okay, it means one. But something which is not countable or which is uncountable, we cannot state it as singular or plural. Okay, uncountable nouns, they cannot be singular or plural. Okay, so they cannot be converted into singular or plural, or they cannot be classified on the basis of singular and plural, or they cannot be classified on the basis of numbers. And if something is something cannot be classified in terms of numbers, we cannot say that either it is one or more than that. Okay, because that is uncountable. It is measurable but it is not countable. Therefore this milk is uncountable, and before any uncountable noun we cannot use indefinite articles. Okay, we do not use indefinite article before an uncountable noun. Okay, so here in this sentence, milk is actually some uncountable noun, so we need not write a over here. Milk can provide protein for nutritionally balanced diet. Okay, so a should be removed from here. Now it is not the question that whether we can use any other article before it or not. We simply know that a is incorrect before the word milk. Therefore now here in these type of questions we need to identify only that particular part that contains the error. We need not rectify it. So if we don't know whether to use an article before it or not, if we only know that a should not be used over here, therefore we know the answer, that is the first is the correct answer. Why so? Because we cannot use a before the word milk over here, because milk is uncountable noun. Therefore if we see the solution, it is not proper to use article before uncountable nouns. Proper material abstract, here milk will be used, not a milk. So this a will be removed. So the correct sentence will be, milk can provide protein for nutritionally balanced diet. So this will be the correct sentence, and the error is in part 1. Okay, so the answer is 1. Okay, I hope you have understood this question. Now let us move to the question number 6. I went to the temple to worship with my parents, my aunts and my cousins. Now this one is very simple and logical error. Why so? Let me tell you. If we talk about any place, okay, suppose we are talking about any place. Now this place is made to visit and to visit for some purpose. Okay, if we visit any place, we visit it for some purpose. Okay, if we visit it for some purpose, obviously. Okay, we visit it for some purpose. Okay, now the place that we are visiting can serve two purposes or two types of purposes. How? Either it can serve the same purpose for which it has been made, or it can serve the different purpose for which it is made. How? Suppose if I go to temple to worship, it means that place is serving the same purpose. It means temple is built for worshipping, and I'm going to temple for worshipping. So I'm using that particular place for the same purpose. But if I go to temple to meet someone, now obviously temple is not a meeting place, it is a place to worship God. Okay, but I'm going there to meet someone, that is I am using that particular place for some different purpose. Okay, so in that case it is serving me the different purpose. Now if the purpose is same, we do not use any article. The article, any article, that will not be used. Okay, no article. But if we are using it for some different purpose, of course we can use article. Now it depends on the situation whether to use the a or n. For example, if I say there is a temple in that or there is a temple on that street, or there is a temple near my house. Okay, so that is I'm indicating a temple, that to show the landmark. Okay, but if I say he went to the hospital to meet his friend, now obviously hospital is not a meeting place. He is going there to meet his friend. Okay, so I'm using the before hospital. Why so? Because that hospital is serving for the different, or is used for the different purpose. But if I say uh, the wounded soldier was sent to hospital, their hospital is used for the same purpose, because obviously a hospital is a place where where patients go, or where the doctors go for treatment. Okay, to treat someone, or for the treatment, to receive the treatment. So if I say the wounded soldier was sent to hospital, it means I'm saying the correct sentence. Why so? Because the soldier was wounded, of course he will be sent he should be sent to hospital. But if I say he went to the hospital to meet his friend, here he is going to meet someone, and that hospital is not the meeting place. That is why I have used the before it. In that case, if the place is serving the same purpose, we do not use any article. And if it is serving for it is used for the different purpose, the article will be used. Now which article? It depends on the situation. Okay, now here I went to the temple to worship. Now I went to temple for what? To worship. And of course temple is for worshipping only, and I went there for worshipping. It means this the is incorrect over here, because I went there to worship, and to worship is the actually main purpose to go to temple. Therefore this the should be removed from here. So the error will be in part 1. Article is not used before the name of place if used for the same purpose. Therefore this the will not be used over here. And the correct sentence will be, I went to temple to worship with my parents, my aunts and my cousins. Okay, so this will be the correct sentence. I hope this much is clear to you all. Well, let us move to the next one. This is the next question, question number 7. In the background, they could hear John laughing and joking loudly. John was the life and soul of any party, and he was cracking a joke every few minutes. Now, joke and soul of any party. Any party means any party. It means wherever John goes, or he does not go, he is the life and soul of that party. Any party means any party. But here we are talking about a particular party which John has attended, and he was the key of attraction. He was the point of attraction over there. Why so? Because he was the life and soul of that particular party. So this any word is incorrect over here. If it is incorrect over here, it should be replaced with the word the or that. So the correct answer is 2. So the correct answer is 2. The group of words John was life and the soul of any party should be replaced by John was the life and soul of the party. Okay, because we are talking about particular party over there. Here word any generalizes this sense. Now let us move to the question number 8. I sat down opposite him and produced the packet of cigarettes. Okay, now here the error will be in part 3. That is the packet of cigarettes. Why so? Because this the is incorrect over here. We have not make only a single packet or a particular packet. If we can say any number of packets. Okay, so group of words, the packet of cigarettes should be replaced by a packet of cigarettes. It is improper to use definite article the here. So a will be used, or a will be used in the place of the. Okay, now let us move to the next one. This is question number 9. After knowing truth, they took the right decision in the matter. Now we are talking about truth in particular sense. It means we have, if we use any abstract noun in a particular sense, we need to use the before it, because here I'm saying about some truth, about some particular truth that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about any general truth. In fact, I'm talking about some truth that has been told over here. So after knowing, the truth will be used in place of I'm knowing truth. Okay, so here the correct answer will be 1. That is, after knowing the truth will be the correct usage, as truth is not variable. One major reason for the popularity of television is the most people like to stay at home. Okay, so one major reason for the popularity of television, what is it? Is that most people. It means most of the people. Okay, not most people. Most people means much of the people. Sorry, many of the people. Now here we are talking about most of the people. Okay, so here replace that most people like to stay at home by most of the people like to stay at home. So here before most we need to write the. Okay, I go to the temple as often as I find time. Now, of course, if I go to temple, of course I go there to worship, because I go there whenever I get time. It means I go to worship in the temple. Therefore, this temple is serving or is used for the same purpose. Therefore, this the should not be used. So the correct sentence will be, I go to temple as often as I find time. Okay, so here the error is in part 1. Okay, we need not use this the before this temple. How to solve the problems is the main concern of the organizers at the moment. Now, how to solve the problems? If we need to write any plural noun, okay, and those are not particular, so we can simply say how to solve problems. We need not put this the before this. Okay, so the correct answer will be first, that is, it is not proper to use the before plural noun. Hence, how to solve the problem should be replaced with how to solve problems should be used. So one thing can happen, either we should use how to solve the problem, or we can say how to solve problems. Okay, so if the noun is plural, we need not put an article before that. Okay, the police asked us about our movements on a night of the crime. So we are talking about a particular night, and that night was the night of the crime. So this a should be replaced with the. Why so? Because we are making this night particular. So here the error is in part 3. Here, on the night of the crime should be used. Okay, let us move to the next one now. This is question number 14. A senior doctor expressed concern about physicians recommended the vaccine. So here the error will be in part 3 about physicians recommendation. Okay, here about physicians recommended vaccine should be used. Okay, this the should not be used. About physicians recommended vaccine. Why so? Because this the is noun over here, and recommended is participle or the adjective. Okay, we need not put any article in between these two. Okay, so here the correct answer will be about physicians recommended vaccine. Okay, so the error will be in part 3. Now let us move to the next question. Children enjoy listening to ghost stories, especially on Halloween night. So Halloween night, so in this we have written the Halloween night. It means we are talking about a particular night over here. So we can say Halloween, the night of 31st October, which it was believed in the past that dead people appeared from their graves. Okay, here especially on the Halloween night should be used. Okay, not okay, or any other article. We need to put the before it. Okay, because these are actually some different or special kind of nights. Now let us move to the question number 16. He is one of tallest boys in the class. Now, tallest is actually the superlative degree of adjective. Okay, this is superlative degree of adjective. Superlative degree. Okay, now this is superlative degree of adjective tall. Tall is the positive degree, and after that taller, and the superlative degree is tallest. Okay, so this tallest is the superlative degree of adjective, and before any superlative degree of adjective we need to put the, always. So before any superlative degree of adjective we need to put the, that is the definite article. Therefore in this sentence we need to write the before the word tallest. So the correct sentence will be, he is one of the tallest boys in the class. Okay, so the correct answer is second, that is before superlative degree tallest the definite article will be used. It is related to adjective, that is degree of comparison. So one of the tallest boys is the right usage. Now let us move to the next question. He always practices the justice and cares for moral principles. Now, justice is actually an abstract noun. Before any abstract noun, we cannot use any article unless it is made particular. Okay, so here before justice we cannot use the. For example, now let me give you some example. Honesty. If I say honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the best policy. It means here I'm talking about honesty in a particular sense. Oh, sorry, in a simple sense. Honesty is the best policy. We are talking about honesty in a general sense. Okay, in general sense. But if I say the honesty that was shown by the men was really appreciable. Okay, so here what we are talking about, some incident or some person who showed real honesty. So here before honesty we are using the. Why so? That was shown by the men. It means I'm relating this abstract noun with some person. That is why here this honesty should be should be preceded by the definite article the. Okay, now let us move to the next one. The use of the with abstract noun justice is not proper. Okay, the principal and staff are waiting for the chief guest. Now here there must be two subjects, because here it is written are. It means we are having plural subjects, and if the subject is plural, obviously we know that principal and staff are separate from each other. Therefore the principal and the staff. Okay, so the correct sentence will be, the principal and the staff are waiting for the chief guest. So the error is in part 1. Here the subject should be plural, hence the plural, the principal and the staff should be used. Now let us move to the next question. The last Sunday I met my friend accidentally. So here we are talking about last Sunday. It means we are already making the Sunday particular. We need not write this the before it. So the correct sentence will be, last Sunday I met my friend accidentally. Okay, so the error is in part 1. Here the last Sunday should not be used. Last Sunday should replace it. Okay, the last Sunday should not be used. The should replace it. Now let us move to the next one. A member shall be required to pay interest at such rate as is fixed by the committee. So we use as such here. To pay interest at such a rate should be used. We always use a rate of interest, or look at the sentence. The number of reported crimes is increasing at an alarming rate. So before such phrases we always use a. Now when I was young I used to collect stamps as a hobby. Now when I was young is the time of past. I used to collect, this is also past, collect stamps as a hobby. So this up to this part it is correct. So here according to me the sentence contains no error. So the solution will be no error, that is fourth. Why so? Because this entire sentence contains no error. Okay, now let us move to the next one. Pacific Ocean is the deepest ocean in the world. Now, whenever we write the names of oceans, now what are the oceans? The four oceans: the Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Arctic Ocean. So there are four oceans and all. Okay, the mountain ranges before the names of the trains, before the names of the rivers and seas, we always use the. So obviously, because this Pacific Ocean is the name of the ocean, this is the biggest or the largest ocean in the world. Therefore, before this Pacific need to write the. Okay, so the Pacific Ocean is the deepest ocean in the world. Now the correct answer is 1. We use article before the name of ocean. Before the name of ocean, hence the Pacific Ocean should be used. Now let us move to the next one. This is question number 3. By noon the fog cleared completely. So here the error, there is no error in this sentence, so the contents contains no error, and the sentence contains no error, and the answer will be 4, that is no error. Now let us move to the question number 24. Unless you are careful, you bound to make mistake in your work. So we can either make mistakes or you are bound to make a mistake. Okay, if there is only one, we should say make mistake. But if there are more than one, we can say mistakes. Okay, so the error will be in part second. Here you are bound to make a mistake or make mistakes should be used. Now the fourth one, death of his only son made Mohan desolate. So death means we are talking about death of his only son. It means we are relating this death to this person. So before any abstract noun which has been made particular, we need to use the before. Okay, so here the correct answer will be the death of his son should be used in death followed by the preposition of. Okay, so these were 25 questions that we have already discussed on the chapter of articles or based on the articles. So I hope you have understood each and every question very well, and now all the concepts related to article are clear to you. So if you want to do more spotting errors based on various chapters, connect with me or stay connected with me. Till then, thanks to you.